Hello everybody, Corey here. Going to go over the trades and holdings for the YieldMax single stock ETFs and YBIT. Just a reminder, I'm not a qualified licensed investment or financial advisor. I just gather the data, present it to you so you can be more informed. YieldMax ETFs are extremely risky. Please make sure you've read through the prospectus and understand the risk involved in investing in these funds. All right, so trades. So it looks like let's look for any closed trades. So OARC. So OARC is the only one that we have closed trades on, it seems. So let's just go to the holdings here. You can get this zoomed out. Sorry, I didn't have that done ahead of time. Why is it? Oh, it's because I need to hide this. All right, there we go. Now, thought it seemed awful small. Okay. So here for ABNY, as you saw, we didn't have any trades for this one. We have our short call at the 155 strike price, which we are currently under 2%. We have a 41-cent possible upside here for ABNY. Then we have AIYY with no trades. We do have the short call of $30.50, which we're under 2% with a possible upside of 23 cents. We also have that synthetic there, just a reminder that that expires next week, and we're currently 8% below that strike price. AMDY, no trades here. We had the short call with 182.50 strike price. We're currently under at 2% with a possible upside of 37 cents. Then we had AMZ here. We had some trades. They added 150 contracts to the synthetic and the short call with the 202.50 strike price. So we have that strike and the 205 strike price. We're underneath those 2 and 3%, and we're looking at a possible upside of 60 cents here for AMZ. Then we have Aptly here. They added 70 contracts to the synthetic and the short call. The short call is at the $230 strike price, which we're under 1%, giving us a possible upside of 18 cents for the short call. So if we move on to Coney, you can see they added 1,065 contracts. Wow. People are really taking advantage of the dip on this one. Well, hopefully the advantage, right? Because we hope it doesn't continue to go down. But anyway, you can see that there. They added those contracts to the short call with the 230 strike price. We also had the 235 strike price, so we're underneath these 4 and 6%. So we look like a possible upside of about $1.10 here for Coney. Then we have Dizzo here with no trades. We have a short call that expires this Friday with a $100 strike price. We're underneath at 3%, possible upside of 45 cents for the short calls. Synthetics expired next week. You can see that we're still underneath those by 7%. Then we have Phoebe here. Let me just, because I did these in sections last night, let me just make sure I don't miss any. Okay. Just in case there could be errors there. So, okay. So we have Phoebe, no trades. We have a short call with a 7 that expires this week with a $550 strike price, which are currently under 4%, and we have a 73 upside here possible for Phoebe for those short calls. Then we have GDXY here with no trades. We have 2 short calls that expire this week, $36 and $37. We're currently at the end yesterday, 36.10, so we were over the one by 10 cents and under the other by 90 cents. So as you can see on the right hand side, we don't have any possible upside here for these short calls as they sit. Then we have GUI here with a short call. This one doesn't expire until next week. 195 strike price, 3% below that with a possible upside of 55 cents. So JPMO here, we have a short call of 215 strike price. We're underneath at 4% with a possible upside of 79 cents for JPMO. Then we have Murni with a short call, 122 strike price. We're currently underneath at 5%, given a possible upside of 67 cents for Murni. And then we have the synthetics that will expire next week, which are still under 27%. And just to let you know, I don't think this one's going to recover unless you know, between now and then, Moderna comes out with something else to make their stock spike again, which is what happened here. It spiked and they did this, and now we're way below it because we knew it was going to come back down after that. That's just sort of the way Moderna seems to work. So then we have the MSFO. They all say new. This one should say new. These should not say new, which then wondered, maybe I copied and pasted these at different times. I was having issues with the formula when we got back last night from the water park, and I was so tired, which is why the videos didn't get done last night. So let's look. MSFO. Yeah, so it shows I copied and pasted these at different times. So yeah, it added to the synthetic, and the short call was new. All right, so we have those extra 60. That new short call was the 470 strike price. Then we also had the 475 strike price. So we have a possible upside of somewhere around, 35 or so cents here, maybe 39 for the short call. And then we have Misty here. So we have a new short call there at the top with the $1,380 strike price, and then they added to the synthetic for the other positions. I guess this formula, I don't know. It's just I don't like how these are out of order. Sorry. Okay, we have an upside of about somewhere around $1.60 or something like that, maybe. For Misty's stock price. If we move on down to Nestle, we have no trades. We have a $705 strike price. We're underneath that 2% with a possible upside of 30 cents. Then we have NVIDIA. They added 2,225 contracts to the synthetic and created a new short call with a 133 strike price. Because yesterday with the 132 strike price, we were already over that by 22 cents. So that means with the 133 strike price, we're only underneath that by 78 cents. So, yeah, we don't have any possible upside here because the majority of the contracts are sitting at the 132. So we'd like for it to stay below that. Looks like we had a lot of people sell out of OARC. They had to close out 600 contracts there. They have a $46 strike price, which are only under 11 cents with 3 cent possible upside for the short call. But then they have the synthetic here that this one is going to go up, should go up market value-wise because we are above the $45 mark. And the higher the stock price goes up, the more the synthetic is worth. All right. So then we have PayPay with no transactions here. Let me look, just to make sure. Oh, I forgot. So sorry. OARC was one that we closed out of, but it looks like it was all on that sheet anyway, so it didn't even matter about coming back on this tab. Okay. PayPal, no trades. Short call, 61 strike price. We're underneath that 3%. Possible upside of 50 cents here for PayPay for the short calls. We also have the synthetic that doesn't expire till next week, and we are still underneath that by 12%. If we move on to Snowy here, we can see that added 65 contracts to the synthetic and created a new short call with the 146 strike price. Currently underneath that strike price by 6%. Then we also had the 147, which were under by 7%. I don't know, sort of split the difference here, maybe 75-cent upside here for Snowy for the short calls. We don't really have a lot in either pot at this point since it is still a new ETF. So we have SQUE here. We don't have any trades. We have a short call with a $66 strike price, which are currently under 3%. Possible upside of 51 cents there for SQUE. Then we have Tesla here with no trades. Short call of 245, which were over by 5% at the close yesterday. We were at 257. So yeah, no upside here for the short calls. And then we have Zomo here with no trades. We have 2 short calls, 115 and a 117 strike price. We're underneath those by 2 and 4% with a possible upside of 40 cents for Zomo for those short calls. And then we had Crash here with no trades. We have 2 short puts, 230 and 237.50 strike prices. We are above those by 10 and 7%. Then we have our long call there, the 265 strike price, which are above by 5%. Our synthetic here doesn't close until next week, and we're significantly looking bad there at a negative 49%, with the stop price being a negative 49% above the strike price, which is why it's bringing down the stop price $4.25 there. So then we'll move on to YBit here. They did have trades. They added 2,300 contracts to YBit, to the synthetic, and to the short call they already had, which was $20.50. And we're currently 4% underneath that with a 54% possible upside. Our synthetic doesn't expire for many weeks, but you can see here that it's bringing the stop price down significantly. And that's it for the trades and holdings. I try to go through that pretty quickly. So anyway, hope y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.